इंडिपेंडेंट उर्दू के बकर अत्यानी इस वक्त हमारे साथ ऑनलाइन मौजूद हैं। इनसे हम उसामा बिन लादेन और 9/11 के हमलों की मंसूबाबंदी के बारे में चंद सवाल करेंगे। बकर अत्यानी, आपने 9/11 के हमलों से सिर्फ 2 महीने पहले अफ़गानिस्तान में उसामा बिन लादेन के साथियों का इंटरव्यू किया था। इस इंटरव्यू के दौरान उन्होंने चंद अहम इंकशाफात किए थे। क्या आप उसकी तफसील बताएंगे?
I interviewed Osama bin Laden almost 8 weeks before 9/11. Exactly, I interviewed him on the 21st of June 2001. It was in Kandahar, and in that interview with bin Laden, of course, he didn't talk to the camera. He said that he has an understanding with the Taliban back then not to speak to media, but his followers, the people who were sitting in the same place when I interviewed him, one of them, who is Abu Hafs al-Masri, or Muhammad Atif, who was back then the military commander of Al-Qaeda, he said in the coming weeks there will be a big surprise. We will attack American and Israeli targets. And also he used if I want to use an exact translation in Arabic, the facilities will target American and Israeli facilities. So this was the exact message Al-Qaeda wanted me to listen to when they invited me for an interview with bin Laden in June 2001.
क्या ये कोई स्लिप ऑफ टंग था, या आप समझते हैं कि उन्होंने जानबूझ के आपको ये मालूमात फराहम की?
Indeed, it was very clear that they actually brought me there was an understanding before the interview that I will be asking him several questions. One of them was back then why he gave loyalty to Mullah Omar. If you recall, in April 2001, bin Laden announced, or Al-Qaeda announced, that bin Laden had given a loyalty, or what they call it, bay'ah, to Mullah Muhammad Omar. And right after that, both the Islamic Jihad, which was led by Ayman Zawahiri, and Al-Qaeda under bin Laden, they have joined hands, and they have became one group. And since then, basically, the official name for Al-Qaeda is not Al-Qaeda, but Qaedatul Jihad. So Al-Qaeda from bin Laden, and Al-Jihad from the Islamic Jihad, of Egyptian Islamic Jihad. So it became Qaedatul Jihad. So I was the understanding with the messenger who arranged the interview, that I'll be asking him several questions, 2 of them about why he gave loyalty, and what it means that Al-Qaeda and the Islamic Jihad have became one group. So when I reached there, he said, I can't talk directly to media, but you can report whatever you would listen in this meeting. So that was the message that they wanted me to hear, and Abu Hafs added into that the business, the coffin business, would increase or flourish in the States. It was very clear statement. No, I mean, because he was talking Arabic, so this is the exact translations of his words.
जब आपने ये सुना कि अमेरिका में ताबूतों का कारोबार जो है वो ज़ोरों पर हो जाएगा, तो उस वक्त आपके जहन में क्या आया कि क्या ये कोई खाली खुली धमकी है, या वो वाकई इस बारे में संजीदा हैं?
Well, I thought actually yes, they are up to something. I would actually feel from the language they are using, the way they are actually planned everything in order to arrange my interview. It took us basically more than 2 months, almost 3 months, to arrange this interview. So I could travel to Afghanistan and then to do the interview. From the initial communication to plan the trip till I went in Afghanistan, I returned back. I was back then based in Islamabad. So I think they were very serious. This is what I felt from that interview, from what I've heard from them. And interestingly, as bin Laden in fact left, bin Laden and Zawahiri left the place after they met with me, and while I was leaving, there was a car which was supposed to take me back to Kandahar. I'm not sure where was the exact location, but it was roughly 3 hours around Kandahar. Maybe it was inside Kandahar, but they kept driving around in the same city because I couldn't actually see where the car was heading to. Anyway, so Abu Hafs told me, we will invite you for another interview after the attacks. So it was for me very clear that they are actually up to something. They are planning for something, but it's no one's guess when and how it will happen and where actually.
जब आपकी ये स्टोरी शाया हुई तो इसके ऊपर क्या रद्द अमल देखने में आया?
Well, I think it was carried and covered widely in international media and even in local media in Pakistan. I remember it was carried, in almost all newspapers in Pakistan back then. There were no TV stations, if I recall, at that time. So yeah, it was carried widely internationally, and so it was a lot of attention to the news was given.
अच्छा, ये बताइए कि जब आपने पहली बार ट्विन टावर्स को जलते हुए देखा तो उस वक्त आपके जहन में क्या ख्याल आया?
Well, actually, of course, it was shocking, surprising, horrifying, indeed. But it was, to me, what I felt and what I believe that yes, this is actually what he was talking about, what Bin Laden and his followers were talking about. So these attacks planned and carried by Al-Qaeda.
क्या इस बारे में कोई किसी खुफिया एजेंसी ने या कोई इदारों ने भी आपसे रब्ता किया?
Yeah, before and after. Yes, I've been contacted by several intelligence agencies, several governments. Before the attack, they were trying to know how serious the threat is, and if they wanted to know more details about the hideout of Bin Laden, which I myself I don't know.